You're listening to the Bahai World News Service.
In this episode, Maina Mkandawire of Malawi, a member of the Board of Counsellors in Africa, and Sokuntheary Reth of Cambodia, a member of the Board of Counsellors in Asia, explore how Bahá'í moral and spiritual educational endeavors are prompting participants of these programs, their families, and their broader communities to examine elements of culture that may be negatively impacting the intellectual and educational development of women, and how these endeavors are empowering women in their communities, move beyond traditional constraints to become active contributors to the advancement of neighborhoods and villages. From the Bahai World News Service, this is In Conversation, a collective exploration of the practical application of Bahai principles to the building of peaceful societies.
In our community, one of the questions that is really taking up our minds is the teaching of Baha'u'llah, which talks about equality of men and women. So I don't know about your area. How are you addressing this issue?
In Cambodia, where I come from, the way that they raise up the children, like the boy and the girl, is different. Like they give more priority to educate the son, because like the man will be the main support to the family. In the mindset that they think that because anyway the girl, when she grow up, then she will get married and then have children, she will just stay home. So then they feel that it is not necessary for the girl to receive high education.
Yeah, that's almost exactly the same as in my community. Even at the age of 13, a child is expected to get married. And instead of encouraging the girl child to go to school, they'll be telling her to find a man. But I think one thing that we are also observing is that with the state of the world now, we can see many girls either have children out of wedlock, or even if maybe they get married, their families are not stable, they are suffering, there's violence in the family because the family does not even have enough money to take care of itself. Also, the boy himself may not have been educated enough to earn enough money to support the family. So with this, I think the communities are starting to think in a different way.
Yes, I think you are right, because in Cambodia, it's like a rural area. In terms of the material development, it's still like very low, because they just mobile by walking or bicycle. So then they could not access also even like technology and all that. So then the people that time also, they don't have so many challenges. But after the material development, we can see a lot of challenge that you mentioned just now. One of the principle of the Baha'u'llah teaching is like the equality between men and women. They are created noble, and then they also equal. And it's like that woman and man, like they are like the wing of the bird. So then if the woman like raised up very well, so then she also can contribute to the advancement of the family and also the advancement of the societies.
Yeah, we have seen some similar changes in the community where the teachings of Baha'u'llah are taking root. The girls are really being encouraged to go to school. The connection that has happened is that especially when you go and visit the mothers who are usually at home, their children have been enrolled in some of these Baha'i activities. So when you start talking to the mother to see how well that child is doing, you find the mothers say, we don't know much. So why do you have only programs for the children? We also would like to read. would also like to know more about the faith or to read the writings for ourselves, the same as our children. So, so you find that really there's that thirst that the women would also like to go to school. So in some cases, we'll start some adult literacy with the women. I have this example of one of the communities where the women actually pressed the institutions to say we want to read and write as well, so that we can know what our children are learning. So they were helped to start reading and writing, and then they started really studying some of the materials which really connected them to the teachings of Baha'u'llah. And after some time, they realized they also have a role to play. So from there, some small projects of income generating started, like community banking. And it was out of these women that even a community school was formed, so that the little children that are at home could actually also start learning and having that thirst for education at an early age.
In Cambodia, in that village, we only have up to primary school. And then when they want to continue to the secondary school, so then they need to go to study in another place, quite far from the village. And then they also like only like have the bicycle as a vehicle to support them. But the family that cannot afford to buy the bicycle, then they could not continue their study in the secondary school. But luckily, the Bahai Institute program strengthened the spiritual and material education. So then that contribute to the transformation of the individual, so contribute to the transformation of the society as a whole. They also train both men and women to become teachers. So they also can offer the teaching to the children and also the youth in that village. So we can see like when this program reach the population, their capacity was built, and then we can see the transformation that the individual made. They arrive to serve their own people. So then when the parent and the village leader see all these like result, they feel that really like education really important for both like the boy and the girl. Because of this, like the village leader and the commune leaders, they consult and share with the government, especially the Ministry of Education, that we really need more school in the village, especially secondary school and high school, so then everyone also can continue their study.
In my community, the girls move for higher education. They do safe boarding. The facilities are not there really for the girls to get the best out of the education, because once they do the safe boarding, they have to look for food for themselves and cook for themselves. So that also occupies them, and they are coming from poor families where they don't carry enough food to eat for the week, and so you find they go there, they will do it 2 years, then they drop out. So really, I think more lasting solutions like what you have suggested, to have more schools near where the people are, would actually be more profitable. I think this process that the Baha'i faith is introducing in the villages is really taking root. It's really transforming the way people think about women. We have also seen, by studying these materials, you find that really they are building a community that is different. And as their capacity is being raised, then you see the women taking a higher role in their own communities, really being able to stand in front of people and to talk confidently, when previously they would just sit at the background, But now they've got courage to consult at shoulder to shoulder with the men and really reach a lasting solution. As we also know that the women are the first educators of the children, we are seeing now the woman, if is empowered, that community really moves to a different stage. The women are being raised through this educational process to contribute to the community, to the welfare of their own families to begin with.
After the war, that time, the community still, they don't have much income because they relies on the farming. And then also they have many children to send to school. So it's a bit quite challenging for them. Yeah. They need to spend a lot of money. So then the village leader and the parent, they consult with the Bahá'í institution, like how they need to continue to higher education. The Bahá'í institution also concerned about this. So after that, they start the university. That university also focus on community development. They also need to pay. I mean, we need to take responsibility for our own education, but also they provide scholarship. So then we can see like many of them like graduate from university, and now like they become like international school teachers. They become like staff of the NGO, and then some they started their own business, in the community. So then now we can see like, I mean, the country also grow very fast because of the contribution from the women.
You are lucky there. Honestly, we have like a training of teachers the same way as you are saying. So even if they go into the training of children classes, what we are seeing now after going through that, they try to go back and complete their secondary school education, which really a good percentage of them, they are doing that. And after they complete their own schools where they are teaching in the communities, really become stronger. And they also have that sense of responsibility to contribute towards the betterment of their community. It could be slow at the moment to change the older population, but the more the consciousness is raised in these young people, you find that the more it will start shifting considerably. Also, the young mothers now, they'll start in a different way to think about how they treat their children. All in all, I think the women are, when equipped, when their capacity has been raised, they become the pillar of the families, really. If the woman is equipped, you find that really they hold the family together.
The institute process really help both like the woman and the man to address this equality between men and women. Is the contribution of many people. It really helped the man to understand the value of the woman. So then the woman also can continue to the university and all that. So then the man like now try to also support the wife.
I think that is bringing in respect of the woman now, that even at a family level they are able to consort, which is another principle of Baha'u'llah. So really contribution to the well-being of the family is not only by also say contributing money-wise, but even in thoughts, in ideas about the progress of the family. They also get equipped to be able to do that. And in turn, the woman would be able to educate their children. So it's really consultation, unit of the family has to be together to be able to solve challenges. And that comes from the writings of Baha'u'llah, to bring that unity in the family, to bring that love in the family, consultation in the family. All those would be able to help that family to actually advance. So for the family to have these values, both the man and the woman have to be involved in this spiritualization of the family. You know, the challenges that they meet, everyday life, they solve together, just because both of them, they've got one source where they are getting their inspiration or their hope. In some of the families, this is really becoming apparent, you know, very, very apparent, and it is giving hope to the others that it can be done.
You've been listening to In Conversation, a podcast series from the Baha'i World News Service. For more podcasts and stories, visit bwns.org.